Hello on the internet. It is Christmas Eve's Eve, December 23rd. I'm C Parks.
I'm Golden Rose K.
Oh, we didn't change the red font that you wanted so badly to change. I forgot.
It's totally fine. The red font's not here when we do the regular, like the show, so I
Yes,
don't
it
have to
is.
look at it. Oh, when we the topics,
It 100% is, yeah.
Hate to see
it. What's your favorite Christmas food?
My favorite Christmas? Here's the thing. I'm not confident there are Christmas foods.
Ham.
Like cookies, ham. No, people eat ham. I can't eat ham. So what?
But a ham is a Christmas.
I don't know, eggnog with like a heavy amount of alcohol in it. Like that might be it, because I can barely tolerate eggnog.
I love it.
Yeah. But like, you add a bunch of stuff in it. Did you read this Martha Stewart's eggnog recipe I posted in the chat?
Nope. I don't read chats.
I know you don't. Just real quick, right? 12 large eggs separated, 1.5 cup of sugar, 1.5 cups heavy cream, 1 quart whole milk, and then 3 cups of bourbon, 1/2 cup of dark rum, 2 cups of cognac, and then it goes, and maybe whipped cream and nutmeg.
Maybe.
And I'm just like, maybe. And I'm like, Martha, hell yeah.
With all the alcohol, you won't really notice the nutmeg, so like you could throw it in if you wanted to, but whatever.
What is your favorite Christmas food?
I like ham.
Mm-hmm.
You had like ham with like the baked pineapple on it and stuff like that. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Is it because you're
a big
ham? Mm-hmm.
What are you trying to say?
I'm trying to say that
going ham on the core.
Core's going down. Man, gingerbread is a great call. I haven't had gingerbread in maybe a decade though, but I bet I would still like it.
I don't remember the last time I had gingerbread or
ginger snaps.
No, I mean maybe I probably had ginger snaps, but more recent than gingerbread.
Mm-hmm.
Can we talk about it? Gingerbread for a second.
Yeah.
Why do we call it gingerbread?
Yeah, it doesn't seem to make a lot of sense.
More like a ginger cracker.
It is more like a ginger cracker. Right. But if you call something a ginger cracker, that's just an Irish person.
I guess you called it a gingerbread cookie. But like, where's the gingerbread? Where's just gingerbreads?
Wonderful question.
Now I'm imagining gingerbread, but without the A.
Why is
just like ginger, BRED bread? Man, the actual reasoning is so not exciting that I don't really care to even go through it. All right, what have you been playing that we're not talking about on the show? Yeah, that we're not talking about on the show. I played a little bit of Death Howl, which is one of those games I talked about a couple weeks ago. Those indie games coming out. Which is a kind of isometric tactics card game. Very, very beautiful pixel art and whatnot. I played through a little bit of that. I finished Danganronpa 2 with a friend of the show, Alex. That franchise continues to be really, really fun. I wish you continue to stream privately into Discords. Yeah. Listen, I would love to be on twitch.tv. And which might come up later, or maybe next week. That I'm trying to think if I played anything else. More Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, just slowly inching the way. I feel like we're closer. We have to be closer to the end. We're in that, like, we hit that part, in every open, like,
RPG, you get near the end, and then it's like, now there's an extra quest in every other part of the map you've already been, so go back there. We just did all of that, so
it's a lot. It's a lot of extra. Always a lot.
Yeah, that game, Rebirth, is so interesting because it has so much bloat, but these side quests are genuinely like funny. Like they like typically have like little character moments and little fun stuff happening, but it's just so much. It's just like, I need to get back. I haven't touched the story, it feels like, in like 8 hours.
Do you get that in the new Final Fantasy anymore? That like there's just like the goofiness of those like side character quests.
16 definitely doesn't have it. 15 also didn't really feel like it had it. Yeah, I think it just, that comes from an era where like one, you know, like I feel like bloat was a bigger thing in that era of video game. Although Rebirth is like a remake of 7, but it's still like a new age game. I think they just like, do a really good job of leaning into like how kind of poking fun at the history of Final Fantasy VII and like the prestige of it, while also like celebrating it at the same time. It's very interesting.
I think we need to start a movement to re-bloat Final Fantasy.
To inflate it?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, look up Final Fantasy inflation. Join my petition.
What have you played this week?
The games that we're going to talk about this week is this last week, from like, it's probably been just a little bit more than a week now, but is like the absolute busiest time at my work. And so I'm basically just like constantly, my shifts are like, 12 hours long, very strenuous. So I am constantly dead tired, mentally and physically. So my brain capacity for games has basically been the two we'll talk about on the show. I think there was something else maybe here and there, but I can't quite remember. And it would have been briefly. Like I probably played a small bit of like Fortnite. I haven't played Peak, but Peak got its final little update for the year, where maps that have, or well,
5 days ago you played Sea of Thieves.
Oh, I did play Sea of Thieves. You're so right. Hold on, I'll get to that in a second. So in Peak, you any map that like has spots where like snow makes sense, has snow on it right now, and then you can find mounds of snow where you can get snowballs and throw them at people. But I played Sea of Thieves, and that was fun. Tragic ending.
Always. That's like the best part. You got to end tragedy.
Absolute tragedy, where we went to this place and we're like, oh, we're going to do this like new quest. Let's see what this is over in the Devil's Roar, where it's like dangerous. Got there, didn't understand how to do the quest that or like how to start the like quest we were going to do. It's like a smuggler's run quest or something. Couldn't figure it out. But I found this other thing on that island. Started it, and it was a big giant fight. Resurrected some skeletons to fight for me, so that was cool. Fought this guy, shot some cannons at him from the island, beat him, opened his vault, got a load of treasure, drove to an outpost, saw that there was a little sloop there, and we're like, no, turn it around. We got to go somewhere else. Did a little slow drive-by, shot tons of cannons into this dude's boat. Was feeling so confident. I was like, oh, probably not even here. Sink this bitch. Sunk it. Sunk the boat. I was like, hell yeah, let's go. We did it. Jumped off the boat to swim over to it. Turned around. Dude was on our boat, lit everything on fire. Killed Terra and Tiana, and then by the time I got back to the boat, it was too late, and it sunk, and all our treasure into the ocean.
That's so good. That person, he was like, you know what, fuck you.
Yeah.
And he did a Jack Sparrow on you.
Yep. So we lost it all. And
emergent gameplay, emergent narratives. That's what it's all about.
Tiana put it good, where she was like, see, this is why I love this game. Sometimes it just humbles you. Just humbles you. So yeah, that was the last experience of that game. So that was great. We'll get back into it more again. Maybe tonight.
Ooh,
maybe tonight.
Yeah. Tell me more stories when it's through. I love hearing about Sea of Thieves stories.
All right. Yeah, if I got more stories on the seas, I'll let you know. But let's
talk about stories today.
Yeah. So what we're talking about today, we're going to talk about Once Upon a Galaxy.
Ooh.
Which is a card auto battler.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Bazaar.
How bizarre.
And how bizarre it is that the game, the Bazaar, releases a demo and goes on sale. 50% off, $10. And you got into that.
I did.
So now I can talk to somebody else about it. Before I could just talk to my wife about it and we would talk about it, but now I can talk to more people.
You've introduced a third.
Yes. Go a little bit over Alpha Beta Gamer, which is something I've gone over before. In case anyone doesn't know Alpha Beta Gamer, it's basically just a website that talks about and like catalogs games that have beta signups or demo releases and stuff like that. Go over some recent stuff from there. And then, depending on time, all the rest, we'll look back at 2025 gaming, look ahead into gaming in 2026, and talk about some of our gaming resolutions. Now, I know this isn't the last week of December, which I've realized. So maybe some of this gets pushed to next week. Maybe not, because I don't care. Yeah, but anyway, let's start up with Once Upon a Galaxy. You kick us off here because you
Galaxy.
You did this.
Sometimes you're a slave to advertisement, and sometimes you follow these streamers, these companies, and they go like, "Hey, you should check out Once Upon a Galaxy," and I go, "All right, sure." Partially just because I wanted something to kill time and I thought the art looked nice. And I triple checked. I was like, I would make sure it wasn't AI because sometimes you never know with these kind of free to play games, but it's not. Once Upon a Galaxy is a pretty fun card game that is also extremely quick, that doesn't teach you 90% of its mechanics.
Yeah.
I really enjoy Once Upon a Galaxy, mostly for how quick it is. Where there are times where I would mindlessly play Minesweeper or something like that while I was listening to something. Now I've been filling that void with this. At this point in this game's development cycle, there is an overwhelming amount of captains, which are the leader of your deck, kind of, that affects certain cards that you might get in your pool / also certain whatever effects they have. And there's literally I think 30 or 40.
There's so many,
that are available.
Yeah, it's basically if I understand correctly, you have what I would consider a neutral pool of cards that every deck has. And then depending on your captain, another set that can be added that is more specific or tuned towards that character. And like you said, that character also has their own special abilities. Like some of them are your animals get +1 health every turn, or stuff random stuff like that.
And then what and like as you unlock cards per captain, which just adds, this is like a fluff thing more than anything, it feels like, where you we'll run through like a game, you'll level up either in like the season pass, which has like a decent amount of like free pass stuff too, and as you just level up in your rank and just play the game, whenever you win you also just unlock cards too. And that will unlock cards to whatever decks that they choose. It's completely fucking random. It a little maddening in that regard. And these, like, this is kind of just like a barrier thing where they're like, all right, you unlocked Snowball, because we just saw on the screen, but you've only unlocked it for this captain. So now you can choose to customize that captain's deck and add Snowball, but you won't have Snowball for another captain. That is just that, you know, to make the list of unlockables even bigger and bigger and bigger or whatever.
Yeah.
But the actual mechanics of this game, like, are good. They're fun. They're like, you create your little field of 5. Each card has their own individual abilities. There are some keywords you need to look out for, and then they have like the type. So things are like animals or villains based on what they have. They might combo in with each other. There are certain captains that like deal with treasures. Treasures are things you get whenever you complete a character quest. Some characters will have a quest that's like deal 6 damage with this character. Some characters will have a quest that is like make sure every spot on your field is buffed. And you do those quests, you get a treasure, which are like a permanent artifact buff, maybe that you would, or like a field enchantment or something in another card game.
It could,
and those can be like,
it could be so many different things. There's a ton of treasures. Like they are things where it's just like, give all your front row characters this ability, or yeah, all heroes that you recruit have +4 health. Yeah.
And the other way to get treasures is anytime you gold a card, you also get a treasure of that character's rarity. So like if you gold a epic, you get an epic treasure. If you gold a legendary.
And similar to other like auto battler type things, like you can see it on screen. Like I think he just silvered something, but like you get one copy of something, it's bronze. When you get another copy, you upgrade it to silver. When you get another copy, you upgrade it to gold.
And like the advantage there is like anytime you silver a card, you get an extra shop. So it's like rarely ever like bad to just take a silver, even if you're not using that silver on your field. Like even if you just throw it to the recruit area.
Yeah, unless there's like something else in the shop that's like you're dying for, right? It's very beneficial. Just like, oh, I'll just silver this. That way, at the worst, I'm re-rolling a new shop.
Other mechanics like this game is it's asynchronous.
Asynchronous,
So you log into, it's a PvP game against a pool of ghosts. Other people's shadows, ghosts, like in a Mario Kart time trial or something. They utilize like the same evolution they used when they played the game, and it just pulls together like 7 of those people, throws them in a game, and so you compete against these ghosts. That makes, like, I think you and I talked about it briefly, but it makes like adjusting to what they're doing really chaotic and semi not worth it, because you're adjusting to someone who's adjusting against someone who's adjusting against, like,
there's this like daisy chain of adjustments where it's like you're adjusting your strategy to this ghost, or just to the ghosts in your lobby, but then all the other ghosts in your lobby, they're not adjusting to the cards in the same lobby as you. They're adjusting to cards in whatever lobby they were in. So like they're going to be grabbing different spells or treasures or characters based on, like, if they're paying this much attention anyway, based on the lobby that they're in. So like you could be like one-on-one at the end against somebody, and you're adjusting to them, but then they adjust themselves to whatever ghost they were playing, and it just like completely changes. So it's like it's not like a big deal. I think this sounds like negative, but I think the game itself is like so quick and low impact that it's like okay, and it's still fun.
I do think that like I really want to test out like a full like PvP lobby where like we are all adjusting to each other, because I think that would change the game fucking completely.
Yeah, because you can create private lobbies with like friends, so that way it makes it not asynchronous, which is fine. Mm-hmm. But like if you get together, like you can run like events for this game, which is cool, where you get into lobbies with people, and then now it's like the meta shifts because you're actually adjusting to people who are in the same, adjusting to the same pool as you are, basically. So that would be neat.
Yeah. Other than that, the game mechanics are you start with 3 hearts. If you lose by they have 3 or more, 3 or more cards on their field and you lose an entire heart. If they have 2 or fewer, you lose half a heart. If you have one of your hearts at half and you win, you regain that heart back. So there's like leeway to like kind of lose a little bit if you are trying to do like more greedy plays, to like build for future instead of like for right now. I think that is a really like fun, healthy strategy. It feels like you can just like grief a little bit in order to get like your win more cards. And again, just the amount of captains, and like negatively and positively, I think them forcing you into choosing one of 3 captains every run. Like you can't choose who you want to play as.
Yeah, you can't just choose you can just be like, I don't know, like who's on
Lady of the Lake, like I think they're
Solixus. I don't know who that is, but that's who.
No, that's just like their player name.
Oh, they're Solixus. I don't know who they're playing as.
Jason and the Agronauts. Jason, I don't know. That might be it. But yeah, so you are forced to learn a bunch of different strategies, which I also think is really positive for like getting into the game. Is like you can't just rely on treasure hoarding with the treasure characters or rely on like spell maxing and all this kind of stuff. You are forced to kind of learn other types of gameplay that can lead to like you have a pool of champions you don't super care about, so you don't really care. But for now, I still like it.
Yeah, I like it too. I definitely, so it's like I have I don't even know if I want to call them gripes, but I have like constructive criticism, I guess, for the game. And there's like
UI.
There's like the UI for sure. And there's like a decent amount of it. But like overall, I think the game is solid, and I think one of the things that makes it so solid and like which like helps forgive a lot of like the issues that I have with it is how quick it is. You can go through a full game in like 5 minutes. Or if like we said, it's asynchronous, or you can like really take your time and like slow down and go at your own pace. But
you can turn the game off and walk away and come back, and you're in your game. You didn't like lose just because you had to go do something. It's just like that because you're playing against ghosts.
Or you sit down for half an hour and you bang through 5 different matches if you really wanted to. Like you can churn through this game for sure. But yeah, some of my gripes, one of them, we kind of talked about it at the start, is it doesn't tell you hardly anything about how to play this game. Like you start off,
we'll have tool tips every once in a while.
Yeah, your first game, it gives you like some guidance and like some like tool tips where it's just like, hey, drag these guys here to buy them. Guys and then it like I think it might tell you some stuff where it's just like, here's your front line, here's your back line. People when people are in the front line, they're more likely to be targeted by attacks and this and that. But then it doesn't tell you like why the attack order, or what the attack order is, why it's the way it is,
why people attack certain people, like all of that. It's like you're left.
Because there's some stuff where the card tells you, like the Flying Monkey tells you, like, this card attacks the back line. And so, like, okay, that's easy. But why is it choosing this person over that person in the back line to attack? Or just like anyone in the front, why are they attacking the people they're attacking? I forget what else it doesn't tell you, but there's a lot where it's just like, it doesn't tell you. And again, I think if one, the general mechanics weren't as good, and two, it wasn't so quick of a match, I think it would, like, stuff like that would just be a turnoff, because I'd just be like, I don't know what I'm actually doing in this game. So I'm just, I spent 20 minutes in this match and I'm just going to bounce. But it's not like that. It's like, I spent 5 minutes and like I won because I have like a general knowledge of card games. So like, cool, let me just do it again. And then, I went to like, I think it was their website to find like more specific details on how the game works, where it's just like the first person to attack, or your attack order on your board is front line, left to right, and then back line, left to right. The character, or the person who attacks first, me or you, is random. It's random which like team goes first, but then after that, you just go back and forth in your line of characters. The UI, I'm going to stop it right here too, so I can use my mouse. The UI, some cards say stuff like, get a random card from your current shop. And I was just, or like shop rank or something like that. It's like, what the heck does that even mean? And that's just like, figure it out. That's this. Here's your turn 12. This icon is the rank of shop, which is like, I think this is the legend rank.
Yeah, legend.
Which you just have to know by the shape and color.
Yeah, you just figure that out. Like that again, that's not something. It doesn't tell you that the shop upgrades every like forth. And like, especially when there are certain captains are like, when you level up, and I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? This doesn't look like you level up.
Yeah, where's my level?
But that just means that your shop is like a higher rarity, which gives you just more chance to get that rarity.
Yeah, you go from an uncommon shop to a rare shop. Also, the other thing is right below that, there's these two tiny little icons here. And that's basically just like what's going on in the turn order. So like right now, we're on this turn 12 with this rank shop. Next up, this is another shop of this rank, and then a fight. And they're so small, I did not see these for like ever. This stuff could easily be placed in any of this blank space and like more prominent to show like here's where you are. Next up, a shop. After that, a fight. And like it's pretty basic, where it's like two shops and then a battle is how it goes. Unless you get a silver, then you get another shop. And then if you do this other thing, you get another shop. And like sometimes, especially if you don't, especially if you like don't understand that, or you don't understand gaining other shops, like it'd be nice for there just to be like some sort of just like more animation that just shows you like, oh, you got another shop.
Pause it right there if you can. You missed it. It doesn't matter. With the treasures.
The treasure screen.
Because that's another thing. Whereas like on the bottom left of the screen, you see that like these are card effects that you have that are semi-permanent.
Yeah.
With the character they're playing, they have this ability where they get sub abilities from other captains, which is neat. But it also, if you're playing a treasure hoarding deck, which are some of the most powerful, I think, just because of the way that treasure hoarding works, where you get like plus whatever like number it is for each treasure you have, and then you can just start copying and treasure maxing. There becomes a point, especially with like the treasures that are like every time you get a common, you get a random epic or whatever. I lose track because the screen doesn't like to show you.
It doesn't show you everything
you have of what effects are happening at any given time. And so like I just decide to forget about it. Like if I'm doing treasure builds, I'm just like, all right, cool, let's just start propagating a billion treasures and ignoring any effect they have on the field and just hope they're winning for me.
Yeah, it does get to a point.
So many fucking effects.
Yeah, like the dragons are all treasure hoarders, right?
Yeah,
thematically just makes sense. Sure, you want a lot of treasures, your dragons get stronger, and like if I'm doing stuff with dragons, I'm like, just give me treasures. I don't even know. I don't care. I'm gonna get, like, I had a run where I had like 30 something treasure, maybe even more. And like, you can't see them all on the screen. You got to click your treasure icon to see them all. And then you just like slowly scroll over every one. I don't have time to do that. This is a quick game. It just matters that I have the treasure. And then also like the fights here, are really quick, and you'll see like some effects happen. And sometimes I'm like, I don't know what that was. Why did that happen? Which I think is kind of what you were going along with. But then also, once the fight's over, it just moves on. I can't like pause it and like replay the fight and be like, what even happened? Why? Oh, if I put this character in this slot instead, then like this like could have happened, whatever. There's none of that. And like, I think it's like, it'd be nice to have that for like when I want to slow down. But I understand that like this game was made to be quick. So like, it just automatically moves on for you. And like, that's fine. I get it.
Yeah. And I definitely think that's like part of the, like it's so weird because this game is so filled with like these opposing positive and negatives that like it feels like some of the things it does are both good and bad, depending on like what you want from it. And like it ultimately comes down to like there's a lot of like nitpicks I have with this game, but like it's just so quick and it's so like easy to start to wrap your head around how to like build a board. And I think the game does a pretty good job of like, I never feel like I'm completely lost for how to do what I'm trying to do. Of course, there are plenty of times where I'm like, other people are just have power maxed and scaled way more than I feel like I could. But like, I still feel like I'm able to make moves to help like my build. Which I think is a positive. So like even when I lose, I'm like, damn it, I just like 1 or 2 more turns and I would have had it. And like that feeling always, that's the hook, because you're like, all right, next time I'll know how to build that better. And you just run again in this quick 5-minute game that it feels like I didn't lose anything by losing.
Yeah.
But I spent a good amount of time this past week playing this game. I got to legendary rank. And once you get to legendary, it does become a little bit more like sweaty, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Where I feel like before legend, I would rarely get lower than 4th or 3rd.
Yeah, I'm somewhere in silver, and I've only gotten worse than 3rd place once.
Yeah, and once you hit legend, like these are all people who have done it. That you're pooled again. It starts introducing an MMR mechanic. So like you are playing against, in theory, similar
and
skill level players.
Also, I don't know if we've said this, but this is like the video we're showing is the desktop UI. This is also mobile. I've only ever played it mobile.
And I've only played it desktop.
Yeah.
Which is fun. But it does get a little bit more difficult. I will say the other positive is I love like this game uses a billion different free use characters or like tongue-in-cheek references to other things. And I think it's really good.
Yeah.
I love it, like just like the art and the characters in general. Like you see, like again, Snowball like, being a Winmore mechanic is just fun. Like it being like every time it dies, it gets stronger, and so you just keep this on your field.
Yeah.
It can become 403 power or whatever.
Snowballs. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's got a lot of just straight up like free use characters, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to get the one that you showed me quickly. So
that's from the new update.
There is like we saw a spell through the looking glass. You can get like Goldilocks and all of like the different bears. There's all fairy tale stuff, and then like there's stuff like this. The Peachy Queen, which, you know,
is very much one thing.
It's not so peachy, but like maybe a little rosy, I think is what I said. But
and I would have liked that a little bit more if they said a rosy queen. But it's fun. It's just cute. It's like,
but very much Rosalina with fairy wings. Which did make them a fairy. So like stuff like that. You saw Puss in Boots. And that's fine. There's like I think their name might even just be Jack Sparrow, but it's like a bird.
Jay Sparrow. Yeah, Jay
Sparrow. It's like a bird pirate, you know? There's other stuff that are like similar to that with like that tongue-in-cheekness, but and the art's solid. Like the art is good. Just needs some different like UI improvements, which like is the only thing that I want with this game at this point, because like we said, there's like there's a lot of content already with the amount of like captains and cards. And then with it just being a card game, it takes forever to see everything, and then once you do see everything, you can just get different combinations of stuff, and like it's random. I don't know. I think that should be the priority.
Like positives also, like, is that while you can buy a season pass and you can unlock like every I don't remember the exact timeline. It might be every 2 months they have a new. No, that sounds fucking way too soon. Every X amount of time they release a new like form of captains. I think there was like 4 or 5, 6 captains, something between that we don't have access to. You can buy the season pass and get access to them, or spend gems on them and get access to them.
And it gives you some gems at one point. Gives you enough to buy a captain, I think.
Yes, it does. But at the same time, they were like 4 months after every season or something like that, you get those captains for free. They just get added to your pool. So it's like waiting, and like as a purely free to play game, I don't have any complaints. I haven't felt the need to spend money on it because there's already so much content and there's so much variety in the different decks you can build that I'm like, I don't need to. Which, you know, I don't know how that works for them monetarily wise and how much money they're making, but it works for me as
a player,
just wanting as a player.
Yeah. Yep. And then so you showed me this, we played that. And it just had me thinking like, wonder if Kay would like the Bazaar.
Yeah, something you've never said that out loud to me.
If Kay likes Once Upon a Galaxy, wonder how Bazaar would settle in with Kay. And I've talked about the Bazaar plenty of times. I will start off saying that they are both card auto battlers. After that, the differences start to like get bigger and bigger. For instance, in Once Upon a Galaxy. It's like a 5-minute game, like we said. You can play it in 5 minutes. They're both asynchronous. I guess there's that. You can play Once Upon a Galaxy in like 5 minutes. You can play The Bazaar in like half hour plus. You know, much more in depth. You can probably play it quicker if you're just like.
It feels like way more than a half hour. I'm gonna be honest.
No, for it especially if you like get into a deep run, it feels like a lot more. Another difference is while you're both playing, you're playing against ghosts in each. Once Upon a Galaxy is a lobby of ghosts, whereas The Bazaar is just the entire player base, just at the same point in the game as you are, the exact same like turn as you are. So there's that like difference where like if in Once Upon a Galaxy you've played somebody, you can know like, oh, I need this stuff in this lobby because like all these guys, everyone's just playing dragons or something like that. So like if I do this, like I can counteract that. Whereas in The Bazaar, you don't get that sort of like thing. Like The Bazaar is more like if you're in tune with The Bazaar, you're not necessarily playing against other people. You're playing against a meta, right?
Yeah.
So like there have been patches where like the character Pig has been really strong using this specific item, and this item is a common item, so it's easy to get. And their whole goal is just like to try to buff this up around this. And the way you beat that is with just like quick damage. So it's just like, all right, well, if I'm not playing Pig, I need to prioritize just dealing damage quick because he's going to outlast me if otherwise. And then this isn't on mobile. Unfortunately.
I don't know if I would like this on mobile, if I'm being honest.
They said they're working with it on mobile, but there is a lot. It doesn't, it feels like this would be harder to like make on a small screen. Oh, and the last difference I was going to say, when you're making your, not your deck, but like when you're like making your used cards, basically, when you're choosing what to select, Once Upon a Galaxy, your goal is to kill all the other characters' cards. Whereas in this, it's to kill the main H. You're not attacking other players' cards. There are stuff that does destroy, but your main goal is to kill the other person, which you can do by either draining their HP, or if you have like a sustain build, you just live longer than them. After a certain amount of time, a Sandsword comes and starts dealing like increasingly ticking damage to both players. So like if you build up more shield and health than them throughout the fight, you just outlast them and win. And you can do it that way too. Whereas like, Once Upon a Galaxy is strictly just like, my cards are going to kill all of your cards. Yeah.
So, my first impressions, or I guess like my first like balancing back and forth between talking about Once Upon a Galaxy and The Bazaar, is I do think the amount of time and investment, I know that of The Bazaar is a little a lot, and I know I can just pause it at any time, but like that often doesn't feel super good just because I'm like, I have to relearn what I was trying to achieve.
Right.
So if I'm like on day, the way The Bazaar works, like Chris explained many times in the show, is that there are day cycles. At the end of every day, you fight against a real person's ghost. And so there are times when you're just like, okay, I've stopped here. I'm on day 7. I've built out this board in a certain way. What the heck was I attempting to pivot to, or if I was pivoting, or so I don't always love, like, I've done it once. I've exactly abandoned or paused the run mid, and that was last night into this morning. And it's a neat feature that you can do, but it's just like, again, it's like, you're like, man, what was I even thinking about the last time I played this game?
Yeah.
Then, but other than the time, there's a lot more strategy that goes on in this game. There's a lot more mechanics. There's a lot more it's a higher learning curve and a higher difficulty curve. In the 12 hours that I played of Once Upon a Galaxy, I was able to get to Legend because the games are so quick and they're grinding. The 12 hours I played a Bazaar, I got to like silver. Like I'm either right about to hit silver or I am just hit silver. I don't really remember. And that, like, so there's just more time investment in general, and again, more difficult. When the Bazaar clicks, it really feels so fucking satisfying.
Yeah.
And you're able to like put things together. My biggest issue is that, and this is just maybe me having to learn as a player and as a person playing this game, who's still learning a lot of the different like intricacies. Around day 8 or 9, it gets really hard to like find ways to make yourself stronger. I think like outside of like getting the temple, which I think is like you get the temple, like there's a certain item that allows you to go to a whole special event cycle, and that thing is just, I feel like, the most broken thing in the game.
Pretty strong,
but it's pretty strong. It's that temple, man. You just get so much goodies. But there are times where like, so I've been using Vanessa, right? Is her name? The most. I still haven't landed on it if I like a character more than the other yet, but I've been using Vanessa the most. And there are times when I feel like I built my board and I'm the game I played leading up to us starting the show. When I went 8 consecutive days, win. And then I just my build just couldn't hang. Week 9, 10, 11, I just lost like bang, 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 bang. And I just it was a really struggle because I'm like, all right, I have this one my whole build is based around just like activating all these abilities quick, getting quick damage as fast as possible, and like buffing all of my things continuously. And I just couldn't find anything to help my board. And that's part of my brain is like, I wonder, is this, should I have just pivoted? Should I have seen like I didn't have the any power creep in week 9, day 9, day 10, day 11, and should I have tried to forcefully pivot to something else that might have done, or was I or did I just kind of brick out my build? And that's something that I have a hard time feeling super satisfied about when I get that, because I'm like, it's probably on me, but I go through a lot of these late days, and I'm just like, how do I get better? And I often don't know how to do that outside of I don't know, getting these, just always going for these gumballs.
And gumballs are like a little tedious and like slight buffs. I think part of it, again, similar to Once Upon a Galaxy, your shops will slowly get better. And I think that is partially an indicator where it's like, oh, it's day 8 now, which means I can get these new items. And the items aren't there's no rarity marked on them. Like in Once Upon a Galaxy, they're marked as common, uncommon, rare, legend, whatever. They're not marked like that in this. It's just, there are cards that you just, I guess, kind of figure out, where it's just like, oh, when I get to day 8, the what's it called? I can't remember what it's called. But the port now shows up in my option. So I'm playing around with this build now, but then come day 8, I can start looking around for this other card and pivot to this. And I think that's one, kind of hard to do, because there's no guarantee you're gonna see the correct card. Even if you find the shop that it is in, you might not see it. And chances of finding certain cards changes as you progress more. So like yes, it'll be like, yeah, day 8 you can now find the port. But if you wait until day 11, like that pool of cards that got introduced into day 8 now has like a 50% chance to show up. Whereas when it was that first day, you had like a 10% chance maybe of finding it.
Yeah, it's also like that feeling of like pivoting when you're on the rise feels bad because you're like, I'm winning. I have been winning. And then it's like you have to mentally commit to be like, no, it will be better down the line if I stop kind of doing what I'm doing and adjust to these higher tier cards. Like one of my biggest issues, I mean, not maybe issues, but one of the hardest things for me is like, oh, damn, I have like these 4 small items going off. I really but this large item might help me do things later, and I have to do the mental calculus. Is it worth getting rid of these 4 small items to put the large item on my board? And there are like times where it feels like, yeah, like obvious, and there are times when it's just like then it's hard for me to like compare numbers of these like semi apple and oranges mechanics happening. It's very interesting, but I still really enjoy the game because again, it's still satisfying. There are like 1,000 different builds, and you can see them that I want to try out.
And
every time I play Vanessa, I see Tortuga, and I'm like, I want to make a fucking Tortuga board. Yeah. I love Tortuga. That's a giant fucking turtle.
And you just need I want to do that. You just need a bunch of friends, right? I think that's what Tortuga does.
Yeah. He does a bunch of damage, and he makes your friends better, and your friends make him better.
Yeah. And so then the other thing with like seeing all these different builds is like there, like I said, like there are metas for builds, but something that this game does is, and it feels good when you do it, is you can just break your build like break it in like the sense that it's like, this is overpowered, where you might be doing the same build as you've done before, but now you've also gotten this one card that's outside of your pool from a different hero, but it synergizes really well with what I'm doing. And then also now I've gotten this enchantment that gives it burn, and that's crazy with this build. Or, you know, you can really break the game. And to go on,
other
go ahead.
thing that I really love is getting like I've gotten it twice, and every time I feel like I've like really sprung the game open is the monster skills.
Yeah.
I like getting like either getting it from them, which isn't like, but like I've got unlocked the shop where it's like gain a monster skill, and I'm like, all right, let's go. And then like I look at those, and like, you know, sometimes you don't get what you need. You get you get skills that are useless, but sometimes you get skills that are like truly crazy.
Yeah, and like that's like I had mentioned it to you a little before, like when like the first like I think 2 games you played, like when it was still the demo, you're like, yeah, when you fight the you get to the day where you choose what monster to fight, you're like, I just choose to fight the strongest one every time. And like that does end up getting you like typically like an extra gold or XP point. But then yeah, sometimes when you like become more acquainted with like the game, you'll see like you're doing a build that does a lot of slow effect. And then you'll fight a monster, and you'll be like, oh, he's the easy monster, but he has a skill where every time you slow, you buff your weapons 10 damage or whatever. And then you'd be like, I can just fight him for the chance to get that skill. And if I get that skill, it opens my build up so much more. So that, I don't know, it's just more decision making there. But also to go with your like time frame of like, yeah, when I get to like level or like day 8 or 9, you're like, it's hard sometimes to like keep up basically. And when I was like more into the game and following, it's like learning how to get good at it and like watching people stream and like understanding like what should I do on what days, What choices should I be making? Why am I making those choices? What should I be doing? When you get your character to level 10, you get a enchantment. Mm-hmm. Or you're able to put an enchantment on one of your items. And when you get to around day 8 or 9 is when you start running into people who have been just trying to maximize the amount of XP they get to level 10 earlier than other people. So I find myself like, that's when you start seeing people scale ridiculous because they've gotten an enchantment. And from when I was playing before, that's around the time strategies start changing, where you're really trying to interact with the other player's board in ways like, I don't know how things are now, but there was a point where people would get early on the item Icicle. And Icicle is just a small item you put on your board, and it only triggers at the start of a battle, and it will just like randomly freeze someone's one item on your opponent's board for like half a second. Unless you upgrade it in different ways, whether you buff it with other items or like just upgrade it from like bronze, silver, gold, whatever. And people would just hang on to that item because they're like, if I get to like day 12, the scaling that people get is crazy. And I just need something that's gonna like even hinder them for a half a second so that my shit goes crazy before their shit goes crazy. So I do know there is like stuff like that where it's just like, yeah, when you're like 9 wins in and you're on your last hit and it's just like, this is it, win or lose right here. People's builds are absolutely bonkers by day like 14, 15. So it does get, for me as well, like really hard to like keep up with that. And that's why a lot of people like, and a lot of auto battlers, you talked about a little bit with Once Upon a Galaxy, but again, it's like mostly just at the beginning of that game too, where it's like, you can purposely like tank a little bit for growth later. And I find in the Bazaar, that is very scary to do. Because, like, let's say in TFT, that's an auto battler, or even Once Upon a Galaxy. Those are games where it's you're outlasting a lobby. And you're not outlasting a lobby in this game. This game is just win 10 times to get the max, like, payout, basically. And so, like, a lot of times, the best strategy is just get 10 wins as fast as possible. Because once the longer it goes, the more insane things people are doing.
Yeah, I like it's so interesting. Like, it's just like there's always that concept of like there's a revolving door happening, and that there's a possibility that like the next turn, like the next like moment, I'll have a shop that will help me build in a certain way. And then there's always the like I feel certain level ups or certain moments that always it gives you that option of like get just the 3 small enchanted items. I almost always think that is worth it compared to like the other options, just because like getting those and like can you help pivot your build like way easier. Still doesn't always feel super satisfying. The other thing that I think is like for me is I almost always will take the random skills that you can get. Anytime that there's an option that can lead to a random skill, I'll just get it. And like that will help me try to figure out what my board is. Because in the beginning of the game, there is just, it's like a little bit just like, all right, you just throw together whatever you have and hopefully it synergizes a little bit. And then the middle days are like, okay, what the heck am I actually doing? The other thing that I adore is the like when you there's that moment where you get like your idea, and then my brain is like, please just give me the bronze shop. I just want that bronze shop to make my board better now. And also I want the Chimera egg as early as possible. I don't feel like I ever fucking use the friend that pops out of the Chimera egg, but I'm like, give me the egg, let me put it in my little thing, I'll sell it later and get a little friend that's enchanted, and maybe it will be cool.
That's
but I love that egg.
That is a part of it where like, so like Once Upon a Galaxy, since we're just like comparing the two right now, where I am for the most part, Once Upon a Galaxy, you have the neutral deck of cards and your captain's like set that he has, which isn't necessarily like cards exclusive to that captain. It's just kind of like this is the other stuff that they throw in from the neutral that everyone has every time, no matter what. In this game, like when you choose your character that you play as, they have every card in their deck is specific to them. Nobody else has them. So when you get these other, when you get these events or things that happen where you're like able to get a card outside of your pool, there's always that like, ooh, especially like now, like for me, like I know most of the card except for Jules, which is the new character. I don't know too much about Jules, and grabbing a lot of her cards just like isn't as beneficial as grabbing someone else's cards because of her special mechanics. But like there will be times where I'm like, oh shoot, I'm doing this build right now.
Jules the chef, right?
Yeah. I've
never once been like, all right, Jules, I want what you are giving me.
But yeah, I'll be like with the Chimera egg, I guess, where it's just like, oh, you get like a random friend. I can be like, oh, if I just get this friend from Dually, that could be crazy. Or you do get a friend and it unlocks like a new thing you weren't even thinking, but like, oh wait, I can do this and do that. And like, yeah, those are exciting and fun. Cause like, and like, even like you said, you're like, what's the worst? Like, it's just a little extra income. You sell them, whatever.
Yeah, and I think like it's part of that, like you mentioned it, but to really like ram it home, it's just like that kind of the mystery box of getting things outside of the norm in this game is really satisfying. You're like, oh, like that run that I messaged you about before this when I got the relic sword or whatever it was.
Yeah, like the runic, whatever.
Yeah, like runic blade.
You were playing as Vanessa and you got a Mac item. Basically.
Yeah, and that Mac item started popping off for me, and to the point where it would do max damage if I could get it off. And it was just so happens that like I got to a point where like I just got outpaced like slightly. So I wasn't able to hit like I wasn't able to get my stuff off. That being said, it always felt like I had a chance to win because I had this item and I had this build going. So like that felt super satisfying. Also, just seeing 99999 in anything is satisfying.
Yeah, and it's like I have a lot more experience in the Bazaar than I do in Once Upon a Galaxy. But like in Once Upon a Galaxy, you can break it as well. Like like you can get real big numbers, and like it like especially since you're in a lobby, you can see like, I'm so far ahead of everybody. I have completely broken open this game. Like I have monsters with 6,000 attack and health. Like I'm not losing based on what I'm seeing in this lobby. But for whatever reason, and maybe this has to deal with like the game being a little bit longer and more like with like more strategic options, but like when that happens in the Bazaar, it does feel real. It feels better to me, at least, just to be like, all my choices have led to this, and now I have this like super ridiculously overpowered board. and it just feels a little bit nicer in this game to me.
Yeah, it feels good. I get more work to get there, which is why I think it feels nice.
Yeah, I think that's what I was saying. Yeah, the short version of it, but yeah.
That'd be good. Get that ticket anytime you can.
Yeah,
by God, please do.
the like the temple ticket where it's like on day 9. A lot of day 9 Sean Plott, you know, a lot of day 9 and Tasteless references today. The plots are all over this. But yeah, the day 9 ticket is good.
But yeah, I mean, like this game, both of these games are going to be in my rotation from now on. They're both games to put on when I'm like just like watching something on my second screen or whatever. Just want to pass the time games. Like neither of them give me like the narrative satisfaction the other games give me, but that's not what they're trying to do. They're trying to be time wasters and enjoyable time wasters at that.
Yeah, this game, it's the same thing for me. Like I'll play this game if I'm on the computer and I'm and I'm like just like wasting time, chilling, whatever. And if I'm not, if I'm on my phone, then I'll play Once Upon a Galaxy.
Yeah,
that's how it works for me. Yeah, so good to hear. It's in your rotation now.
Yeah, yep. For $10 whole. Well, I don't think I'm gonna buy any of the characters. The only character I consider buying is Mac right now, but I don't think I'm gonna.
You know, they've changed the economy system in this game so many times, and I was around for it like at the start, where like Jules is the only character I don't have because she was the original 3, Vanessa, Dooley, Pig. I like supported this in like early access or like it's Indiegogo or whatever, and so like early on I basically just like was gifted enough in-game currency to unlock, to be able to unlock the 3 original characters. And then I played enough where I had enough in-game currency to unlock Mac. And then with when Stell released, that is when they changed like the economy of the game, where it's like in-game currency now is strictly cosmetics. You can't buy characters with in-game currency anymore. But when I moved from the Tempo launcher to Steam, the first like 3 or 5 days or whatever was like, hey, if you buy this game on Steam, you get the new character Stell with it. So I got Stell through that. And now Jules is the first character where it's just like, well, now I need to make like an extra purchase outside to like actually get Jules. And they're expensive. They're on sale right now, but they're expensive. But Tara did get Jules. Jules was a character Tara looked at like right away and just like, and I think she looks cool. Just her design.
Yeah, I agree.
Is cool. And so Tara's played a little bit of the Bazaar recently and been playing as Jules and is like kind of starting to understand how she works, because her mechanics are very different, or she like the way she plays is different than other people. Everybody does play a little bit different, but she's just like really different. And what that means for me is I can sneak onto her account to play Jules. So I don't have to buy her, but yeah, Jules is cool. Yeah. The thing that like Jules to me feels
there's a lot more board interaction, I think.
Yeah, she almost feels like she is for veterans of the game who have like been playing and understand how the game works. And she's just more active with like her board and like where she's placing stuff. Because like everybody has that a little bit. Everybody has like if you place these characters in these cards next to each other in this order, you get this sequence of stuff. But then she has like a burner and a chiller and extra stuff that she has on her board underneath the cards that adds extra effects. So now it's not just like putting these cards next to each other because they interact. It's now putting these cards next to each other, but also on top of this other stuff, and then figuring out like the correct ordering of stuff. So it's like there's almost an extra challenge to it, but it's it's fun. It's cool. And then again, because it's a little more challenge, it's a little more satisfying when you figure out that ordering. Which, by the way, this doesn't happen too much, but you might not know, Kay. When abilities on your board trigger at the same time, it goes from left to right.
Okay.
So like if you have two cards, if you have two cards that go off at the same time and one of them buffs the other cards, if that's on the right side, you do damage before you get the buff. But if it's on the left side, you get the buff and then do the damage.
You reminded me of one of my more annoying losses was when I had the ballista, I think it is, that you build up the multi-hit on it like a lot. It only has like one shot, but you multi-hit you can get that up really high. And I got to like multi-hit 20 and like it was attacking, and just because it like of the nature of how it does damage, I lost like while it was still multi-hitting, and I'm like, like I was just like, I want the multi-hit to be instantaneous. I think.
No, like, it's not like it's not like it doesn't shoot like 20 all at once. It's like
bam.
It's just like bam, 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 bam. Yeah,
and I'm like, I was like, I had it. I did everything I needed to do to win, but this thing just is, they had to load this fucking ballista, I guess.
I forget the rate that like multicasts are set, but yeah, the ballista is just like. It just becomes like a constant stream of attacks rather than all at once. And I've played with the ballista before.
And the tentacles from either the Kraken or the octopus or whatever.
The 8 attack tentacles. Yeah.
But you know what? This game is really good. It's really polished, and it's so polished that I wouldn't say that this is either an alpha or a beta game.
No, this is out of both of those, but there are a lot of other games that are for our alpha beta gamers.
I'm going to run to the bathroom real quick, but I do know about ABG, so you can talk about it.
Okay, so Alpha Beta Gamer is a website that I use every once in a while. I talked about it at the start, where it shows you and links to games that are coming into alphas or betas that you can sign up for, or demos that have released for games. So I have a list of some that have been recent that you can like sign up for access for or play demos for. I want to start open some of those so I can talk about them. But oh man, let me just, Jesus, I didn't link them in the document because I was lazy. But yeah, this is a site that every once in a while I just kind of like scrub through, and I'll like run into things where I'm like, oh, I didn't know that had a demo. That's really cool. Or like, oh, never heard of this, and this is a really cool alpha that I can sign up for. That looks neat. I'm gonna do that. I think I've got everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, there's an 8th one that I missed. There it is.
Beta Gamer.
All right, so the first one is Frog Squad.
Yeah, it showed up in a gaming presentation soon.
Yeah, recently. What was this in? This was in something.
Was it? I mean, this might have been in Day of the Devs that I watched. But...
Maybe. But I've been seeing a lot of this game recently. Frog Squad is a cooperative extraction puzzle platformer. I don't know they describe themselves as extraction puzzle platformer, but sure. 8 frog friends storm the sewers, eating everything in sight for the glory of the ravenous Swamp King. Use your sticky tongue to swing from pipes, solve physics puzzles, and catapult friends through wine tunnels. Yeah, it's just sounds fun, goofy, cooperative game for up to 8 people, which is a good amount. And you can sign up for beta access for this now.
Yeah, The trailer I saw of this game, it looked really fun and cute. You know, quote unquote friend, whatever adjective you want to use type game.
Merriam-Webster's word of the year is slop, by the way.
Yeah.
So
wonderful. But there's some cool mechanics in him getting bigger and having to like regurgitate stuff to get smaller to do certain puzzles. And you see like one like what might look like a boss type of encounter at a certain point. It seems really neat. Yeah. Arc Squad.
It looks fun. It looks nice. I was interested in it before when I saw it, and now there's a you can request access. Oh my gosh, what one am I on? I'm on 4. So let's go. Bam, 5. Trivia Murder Party. Run it from the
Good
top.
job.
Run it from the top. Trivia Murder Party 3 has a beta sign up. And I thought this was interesting. I saw the name of it and I was like, wait, what the heck? And yeah, this is from Jackbox. By the name of it, you can tell there have been 2 other trivia murder parties.
Yeah, the first one was just one of the mini games in one of the Jackboxes, right?
Same with the second.
Okay, there you go.
And so now, which they do this every once in a while, they are now making it standalone. So they've done this with like I think it was Drawful, and maybe like Quiplash or something like that, where they take one of their games that has been in a party pack and expanded on it and given its own thing. So that's what this is. Trivia Murder Party 3.
Neat.
Jackbox Games getting its own standalone, and it's like it's very much the same game. Like like that image was very like dark and whatever, but like yeah, if you go to Steam page, if you know this game, it's still the same thing with your little dolls and the trivia, whatever. Same game, just standalone, and I assume more content in it. But
yeah. Oh, this is neat. I think you should definitely join the beta for this if you're a fan of Trivia, Murder, or Party. You don't have to tell us which one that you are a fan of.
Nope, please don't.
Please don't.
Please don't. Next up, Into the Fire. I don't know why. I don't know if it's, you know, the potential autism or what it is, but I have always thought firefighters were cool. And when I went to Disney World, I think there was there was an arcade that had like a firefighting game, and I thought it was so freaking cool. And I have no idea what it is. Never seen it anywhere else. But yeah, this is a video game.
Yeah, I mean, it looks cool. I like again, I think there are a couple of really neat firefighter games that like have this fun little niche. It's interesting to see out of like the first responder type video games what gets made more of and what but like I don't know, like again, like when you know you ask a child, you ask typically a young boy like what they want to be, firefighters, somewhere in the top like 5 answers, I bet.
My grandfather was a firefighter, so maybe that's part of it too.
My great-great-grandfather, the first firefighter to ever die in the line of duty in the state of New Hampshire.
Wow.
Yeah, a fun fact of the day for everyone, I guess.
Yep. But yeah, I don't know. It's in development by the creators of The Invincible. You go into Dante's Archipelago. I don't know. It looks fairly nice.
Just what I can't tell from this, is this single player or multiplayer?
I think it's just single player.
Okay. Interesting.
It is, yeah. A
firefighter Alan Wake like.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if it has multiplayer, but I don't think it does. Yeah, it's just a single player on the Steam page. And yeah, you're just fighting fire and fire-esque, well, freaking demon monster things that have all kinds of effects. I don't know. could be cool. And there's a beta or an early access beta sign up, so why not? I don't know. Try it out. Wanderberg. Really like the way it looks. Like its aesthetic a lot. Minimalistic open world roguelike. Already catches me. Set in a world of castles on wheels. Or legs. There's one of those in this GIF here where it's got legs. Where predatory fortress hunt peaceful villages, and there's always a bigger fish. So yeah, it's very much, we've played this game before. You're a little fish, you eat other little fish, and then you get a little bit bigger, and you can eat fish that are bigger than what you could eat. But then, watch out, that fish is bigger than you, he'll eat you. And I think there's like IO games specifically.
Yeah, I remember I had an ex at one point who played a game similar, but with obviously nowhere near the aesthetic of this.
Yeah, and that's, I don't know. It's very simple concept, but it's like a solid concept. And I just really like the way this looks. And I don't know, there's something like, it's like Howl's Moving Castle.
Exactly. I was gonna talk about how, like, I think Howl's Moving Castle might be the first example I have of seeing a house that could move and being like, that's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's, it's like this. Defeat bosses to grow your castle bigger and bigger, upgrading through whatever, blah, blah, blah. It seems single player. Let's click on it. Let's see. Does it say multiplayer? Nope. Just single player. Which is fine. But yeah. I don't know. That looks cool too. Here's another thing. Hey, pinball and roguelike. I suck at pinball, but it has always interested me, and I like roguelikes. So that's why I clicked on this. Runix, pinball roguelike. Or like 3D pinball game where you build your ball back to slay monsters with epic combos and restore the ancient pinball order, which is something that desperately needs to happen. We must restore the ancient pinball order.
Again, this is conceptually but like you, I'm not that good at pinball. It's like, if I had to pick out like gaming concepts that I've never been great at, the pinball might be near the top.
Yeah. I go to the arcade and I play pinball and I'm bad.
Yeah, I play it once because I'm like, oh man, I wish I could be good at pinball. So I go there and I play, and they go, yeah, I just don't have it. And that's probably like a self-sustaining cycle because I only play it like once. I just don't get better at it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, same way. And like, I think part of my like intrigue in pinball, Sonic Adventure, sure, is like, one, my mom always liked pinball. And then there was like the free pinball game that came on like Windows XP, Space Cadet, I think it was called. And then like Sonic Spinball, and like Pokemon Pinball. So there's there's.
It is interesting that we got those pinball tie-ins, mainly Spinball and Pokemon Pinball, and then they kind of stopped doing that for anything after a while.
Yeah,
despite how seemingly popular those games were.
They were, and then like, I feel like, other pinball games that have come out have done well. Like what's it called?
Scary like horror pinball game that's like a roguelike also.
Yeah, kind of. There's those two. They're like Demon.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I can't remember the name of it because I'm looking at other stuff right now. But this was another sort of like roguelike-esque pinball game that I saw. It's called Pin Keep. This one's a little different, where like you can see like the board is much more open, and like you have your flippers at the bottom, the pinball part, but you're also like, it's not traditional pinball. That other game, Runix, this one looks like a more traditional pinball field with like its ramps and where Pin Keep strays a little bit from the pinball. Yoku, by the way, was the game I was thinking of. Yoku's Island Express.
The first Pinball Metrovania.
It's Pinball Metro, and that game is cool, and people like that game too. Yeah, moving on. Erosion. We saw this game recently also at, I think, an Xbox show. This is the Western where you are trying to get your daughter back, but every time you die, a decade passes. So she's constantly aging, and I don't know if that means you have a set number of lives, because I don't think your daughter can live to be 500 when I die 50 times on a boss. So I'm kind of interested to see how that works.
Yeah, this is the one out of the ones we picked where the demo really intrigued me, because this is like, when I saw this, I think my response was, I just need to know how it plays and how it feels and like how it actually works as a mechanic.
Yeah. And you can sign up for the beta. This was from that show that happened with Xbox when they announced this. I think this was the one that like was most intriguing to me. Did I not request access? I must be signed in. That's why I did it on the actual Steam account. So yeah, this one was most interesting. This next one is the one that I think I want to try the most, which also again saw it in an Xbox show. There are no ghosts at the Grand, and this one is a straight up demo. It's a oh, I don't want the video. It's a beta demo, so you don't have to request access for this one. You can just download it. And I talked about this on the show when they revealed it. This game is if you took one of those like Power Wash Simulator / House Flipper sort of games, and tried to give that more narrative. And so like I mean those games are cool. I like Power Wash Simulator. I like those like House Flipper. They're simple. They scratch something in a lot of people's brains with just like placing stuff in the right place and cleaning and whatever.
You can't do it in real life, but I'll sure as hell do it in this video game.
So I want to try this demo because it's give me your social security number.
There you go. Oh, if somebody asks, you got to give it.
Yeah, but it's my wife, so like, what she might be. I can't tell if she's serious or not. But yeah, I don't know. I really liked. I want to buy a laptop. I'm supposed to buy that for you. I also want to buy you a laptop. But yeah, I really want to try this, and I wanted to try this with Tara. Yeah, this is the game with like the musical number that I had to.
Yeah, that's what really caught me.
It seems crazy and weird, and I think the gameplay is probably solid, and it just gives you a little bit more oomph, you know. So yeah, I'm very interested in this, and you can just download the demo for that. So I'll do that. And then the last game, another demo, Super Meat Boy 3D. Yeah.
3D.
Yeah. So this is now available. It's also available on the Epic Store. That I didn't even know it was on Steam until here. I thought it was strictly Epic. But yeah, so you can try the demo now. So that's cool. I saw quick impressions when this first released this demo, where people were frustrated, and then quickly after that, people just being like, "It's probably because you're bad," which is like, so yeah, it's a Meat Boy thing. Like if you're just bad at it, it's probably frustrating because you're supposed to be bad. It's a hard game. And there is also some like videos you can watch about like this in like early development and stuff like that, which is kind of neat. It's not by Ed McMullen, who created the original Meat Boy game. You also know him as the creator of The Binding of Isaac, and his new game coming out in like a month or so, Mugenics, which I'll talk about at some point. I'm just waiting for it to get closer. Yeah, he created Meat Boy in that first game. He has not done anything with Meat Boy since then. He does not own Meat Boy. Meat Boy is his boy, but he no longer has any control over Meat Boy.
Yeah, that's always a little disheartening, especially with like a game that is as cherished as like Super Meat Boy.
Yeah.
I I hope this game is good. I want to play this game quite a bit.
Yeah.
So I'll probably download the demo. But it not being tied to the creator at all like does like lessen my excitement.
The last one's hasn't either. Like Super Meat Boy Forever, which was like the auto running Meat Boy. Mm-hmm. He had no part in that. I probably because his game Eugenics is out soon, and then I also because I follow him on social media, I see him post a lot, and he's very open. Mm-hmm. Like he's just a regular dude. He's not hiding behind like any corporate like stuff. But the Super Meat Boy 3D people released like a video where they're like, here's like early development of this game. Here's what Meat Boy looked like back then, and here's like some gameplay. And the game, how it is now, its 3D perspective is very much of a Super Mario 3D Land. And in its early development, it was more Super Mario 64 Odyssey Galaxy, kind of like that, like the behind the back rather than like that fixed 3D perspective. And Edmund McMullen commented on it, and he was basically like, "Hey, I like the way my guy looks here. Like, good job." And then just like, what made you decide on the change between perspectives? And I didn't see them answer at that time. Maybe they did, but yeah, I don't know. I'm interested in that game a lot, so I'm interested in the demo, which I downloaded.
I hope I haven't checked to see but I hope they keep the like when you complete a level, you get to see like the trail of all your dead corpses. I think that's one of the best parts.
I saw something. It might be in the trailer. They might show that, but yeah, you see like the path all your previous lives took. I know they still have in like oh yeah, there it is. It is in there. You see them all silver. They also, I know they still have like when you get to Bandage Girl at the end of the game, or not the end of the game, but the end of the level, Dr. Fetus shows up and like takes her away. And like a lot of time he'll like punch you or flip you off or something like that. And he still does that. He'll appear.
Here it's still there at least.
Yeah, he'll appear, punch you, and then disappear with Bandage Girl. And that still happens from what I saw. Yeah. That's my segment on the alphas, the betas, and the gamers. The three social constructs of life.
Yeah, I didn't put it in the doc, but there's an alpha going for the Warhammer 40K Dark Heresy, which is the Owlcat like CRPG, and but I think it's one of the alphas that like you get to use the alpha if you buy like the digital edition or whatever. Like, and I'm like, I'm gonna buy this game anyway, but like I'll just wait. I don't need to spend that money right now immediately.
Yeah.
But there was a very long conversation I had with friend of the show Alex about whether or not we get the alpha and playtest this game, especially like, but Alex is making fun of because like Owlcat notoriously buggy at launch, cleans it up, and they're also they add a whole bunch of content like
post
6 months post launch, where I'm just like, like, you know what, you're right, I should wait until release, but also at the same time like I probably should wait like a year and a half after this game comes out, but I don't have that willpower. So we'll see if I end up having that willpower to not buy into the beta.
Alex said that same stuff about the last Total Warhammer that came out, Total Warhammer 3. Or Total War Warhammer 3. Where like the second one had tons of factions in it. And then when they released the third one, it only had like 4 of those factions to start, and they were going to re-add all the other ones. So yeah, he was basically like, well, should probably just wait. I'm having enough fun with the second game with its like large amount of factions. I'll just wait for them to add them into the third one because they're supposed to for free. Yeah.
Want to look back?
Well, let's take a look back.
Look back.
The year 2025. The year of the indie game. That's what I'm calling it. I think indie is...
It's definitely the most positive part of this year, I think, is indie gaming.
Yes. There has been 2 trends from year to year in gaming. One of them has been the rise of layoffs, and every year there's more and more layoffs. And maybe it's no coincidence that as we get more layoffs, we get more and more A+ quality indie games. And I think this is the best year that we've seen critically for indie games. You had finally the return of Hollow Knight, Silksong, Hades 2. And then you had those newcomers. You had Blueprints and Clair Obscur, which Blueprints is like... Actually, I don't know if Blueprints developer, I can't think now if they've done other popular games.
Let's find out. I got that for you.
But I spoke of newcomers, at least just along the terms of like, they're not sequels to indie games. They're like brand new indie games. So
it's the first game.
It's the first game. Yeah. So a lot of like major hits in the indie scene this year that were like the best games that we got, I think.
Yeah.
From indie developers. And that was a great...
And that's like not even including like games that I've only just learned about, seeing a lot of people's top 10 lists. We talked like individual, you and I passed some giant bomb lists back to get forth. But I mean, ones I kind of knew about, but Seance of Blake Manor has been popping off, another indie game. That game is incredibly well reviewed. I learned about The Root Trees Are Dead recently.
Okay.
Which is another like mystery kind of, you go through archival footage of like old internet and try to piece together a mystery. But that's been getting a lot of... It was on like Game Informer's like top 10, and I was like, I've never heard of this game. But like it's just like, again, you mentioned it, like indie gaming has just been exploding in this post AAA ballooning budget world. That you have like the classic indie developers, like you mentioned, like Supergiant, has been steadily improving since Bastion and getting bigger since Bastion, to and Team Cherry, which is like more of a, like, they came out, they made their hit, and now they're like, and they successfully followed up on it. But you also have, like, as you said, your Clair Obscur, where Sandfall is a bunch of laid off ex Ubisoft devs and like other people, and they're like, you know what, let's make the game that we wanted to make that we couldn't make in a AAA company. And as we hear the noise grow more and more about how long it takes AAA development to work on games, and like the Naughty Dog game taking 6 to 7 years, like for these, like, the PlayStation experience, the Xbox experience, the Nintendo experience, these games taking forever. All of these like independent games, these smaller teams abling to like fill the space with these like prestige level experiences is like the most hopeful like part of video games right now, I think. I mean, of course there's going to be like, there's thousands and thousands of indie games that like come out every month that like fall through the cracks, but even those, like, there's a lot of those that like are special to somebody and are able to break even. And I think that is good. I think that 2025 in total probably can go down as one of the best years of the video games that have come out ever. And I think that would be a very fun topic to look into and try to judge 2025 versus like I think it's like 97 or I don't remember which of the 2000s, which are the odds, but I remember one of those years, like everyone is like, this is also one of the best years. And
yeah, because that, I forget what year that is off the top of my head now, 2007, 2008, something like that, where it's like Half-Life 2, Portal,
Mhm.
Halo 3, like like I forget what else, but yeah, the list goes on. It's a crazy, crazy year. The difference is in those years,
Mhm.
is like that is mostly dominated by like major publishers, whereas this year is, like we said, it's indie games have dominated. And there's like it's hard to completely wrap my head around it. A lot of it is obviously probably just going to come down to like corporate greed, but it's crazy where it's like, on one hand, making games is easier than ever. There are more resources out there for free for people to just make video games. Like you can freely download and make games with Unreal Engine, with Unity, or a variety of other like means. You can do that
and
for free.
Even a lot of like the paid options aren't that high of a like cost of like entry either. Like again, like there's still plenty of RPG Maker games that are like really well made and really well like celebrated.
But as we hear and see more and more of, it's also somehow more expensive than ever to make games. So, that's why we see so many layoffs, but then at the same time see so many indie devs be able to do what they're doing, because it's, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. Doesn't make sense. I can only hope we see more great indie devs come out.
It's also like, not to get on my soapbox that I always get on, but like, you see a lot of these layoffs in these major corporations, and like you look at, the salary of like the CEO or whatever C-suites that are there, or the, like the empirical need for the infinite money glitch that a board seeks. And I think it is like at times it is easy to see the why it imploded and why these layoffs have happened. Do they feel morally justified ever? No, never. Fucking it doesn't feel like, anytime we see these layoffs, it's so easy to look at the company and go like, yeah, this was a bad call. Like you made a bad call, and whether that is because of trying to chase trends that are past, because of like it took 7 years to chase a trend from 7 years ago. Yeah, you're not going to hit it in the same way.
People are over it.
You spent millions of dollars for a hero shooter, right? That's like obviously one of the biggest stories of the year, is that like Concord chasing a trend, making a, like, I don't like to beat a dead horse, but Sony being like, make a Overwatch like, and it's like, well, there's only some room for so many Overwatch likes, and you are making an Overwatch like with your own cast of characters. You're not betting on a safe IP. Like, as much as I wish original IP mattered more, like the only other hero shooter to really claim a space is Marvel Rivals, because people get to look at Marvel characters and go, Marvel.
And they have played into the Goonerism. Yeah.
The populist Marvel Rivals over there.
They added Rogue. They got her Savage Planet outfit in that.
I heard about that. Oh, that's crazy. Did they add Ice? Oh, no, Iceman's not in the game yet, but they got to put Iceman in the game and add Iceman's Savage Planet.
I don't know if I know Iceman Savage Planet. Is it okay to look that up on stream?
Let me look it up first.
Not that you can see anything on stream right now.
Yeah.
Iceman Savage Planet.
Oh, Savage. What the heck's the name? Savage.
Not Savage Planet. Savage Planet is that game.
Yeah. Man, dead air. Filling dead air.
Rogue, Savage. I know it'll pop up if I just type Savage. Savage Land.
Savage Land. There we go.
Iceman. Savage Land. Savage Land, yeah, Tara said it. She knew.
Everyone keeps just showing the Rogue One on the Google imagery.
Yep, that's so true. I assume he's just like freaking naked. Right?
Yeah, he's basically just has like one of those like loincloths.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I type in Iceman Savage Land and I get a whole lot of Rogue still.
Yeah, that's all the people care about.
That's fair.
But yeah, and it's just interesting that like the way that these worlds like these decisions get made like from the top level, and how the indie game developers are able to kind of move in that like that blind spot of capitalism. Like obviously they're still trying to make money and they're still trying to make games that will capture the zeitgeist, but you don't you hear more success stories than not of like a niche kind of title, a Vampire Survivors creating its own genre based off of it. You see like, and then you see developers going off of that, and because indie development is quicker, it's leaner, and it's like able to navigate, you have like Ball X Pit, you have a lot of these Serotonin games that are able to come out a year, 2 years later, and make way more money than I don't know, than the cost investment of like most of these AAA games. It is definitely snowing.
Idiot.
It's fine. I'm gonna go out later anyway in the snow. I don't mind it.
Blech.
Put my Star Wars poncho on.
Yeah. In 25, we also got a console launch.
Yeah.
So that was exciting. It is the Switch 2, which I have seen reports on. People wondering why didn't it sell that? Why didn't it sell that great for the holidays? Why hasn't the sales erupted? And part of that might be because it erupted at launch.
Yeah.
A lot of
but as Mad Tea Party said, we are all poor.
We all poor.
I think
poor.
Gift shopping in general is down. Like we won't know like the specific numbers, but you hear stuff about that. Like retails have taken a hit because again, whatever might be happening in the world,
couldn't imagine what
people couldn't imagine what would make everything be so expensive and completely ruin the amount of purchasing power that regular people have. But that's the thing. But it is interesting, like not even more than just like the state of consoles and sales wise, the state of consoles like in our mind share, I think, Chris.
Yeah.
I pick up my Switch 2 to play Nintendo exclusives. I got my PlayStation's like year in review, and I'm like, the only time I've touched my PlayStation is to play Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I have so few hours compared to 5 years ago, 10 years ago, where like my console gaming was maybe where I would, put my hat in. Like that would be where my hours were. And it's so not there right now.
Yeah. Console gaming, it's over here in this household. I used, the Switch 1 was for Nintendo exclusives. Switch 2 will continue to be console exclusive, like Nintendo console exclusives. It has also been the supplementary Fortnite machine. One, because Fortnite runs pretty well on the Switch 2. And so like when Tara's playing on the computer, I can play on the Switch 2. And it's hooked up in the same room. So we're like, together. But like for the rest of the year, when I would like, that's what the Xbox was. The Xbox was the complementary like gaming system where it was, if we played Fortnite, one person was on the PC, the other person was on the Xbox. But that's downstairs. That's a whole different level.
Yeah.
So now the Switch 2, because it's set up in here, it's easy to like play in the same room. That's what the Switches. And yeah, the Xbox is now like, and it doesn't even need to be this, but it would be the complementary system for like Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
But I also have Sea of Thieves on my Steam Deck.
Mm-hmm.
So and like that's kind of the point I was getting to, is like the consoles have become complementary to the PC for me.
Yes.
And now it's to the point where I even have a complementary PC, which is the Steam Deck. So it's just kind of like, when Tara's on the PC playing games, I can use the Steam Deck for a lot of stuff. And then yeah, also, like Tara's been talking about it in the chat, we want to get her a laptop that can also play games. And so it's like, we as a family, just in case no one saw it, we as a family have like moved into the PC gaming space, partially because there's a lot of games on PC that aren't on consoles that are just cheaper to get into.
Yeah.
Peak, for example. Peak is like under $10, and we've been playing it like all year, and it's only on PC. And it's cheap. And it's the same thing with like Lethal Company. I haven't played it yet, still want to. But like, my point is just like, there's a lot of like cheaper, fun games to play together that are only available on PC. And like, it's kind of always been like that, but like indie gaming is just growing more, like we said. So there's just like more and more of that. And if we wanted to play console games, a lot of them are on PC.
Yeah. It's just like it really hits like the nail on the head, is that like a lot of the consoles that are selling well are these like kind of handheld on the go auxiliary machines. And it is going to be interesting to see, though, like coming out in the next coming years, we haven't talked about it much in the show, but like with all of like the RAM shortages stuff and like a lot of the pivoting from like the major companies to only sell to like corporations for like AI, all that like really doomer kind of stuff to talk about, to see like where that lies in the future, whether or not like consoles are able to like make up any of that ground, because of like the cost of entry for a PC possibly getting higher and higher. Not to say that like you can't get like a mid-tier PC for probably a price that's still affordable, but like that's the doomerism on the other side, is that like, as again, corporations and tech keeps trying to advance in truly crazy ways, what that does to the hobby itself. I had a brain thought.
A brain thought or a brain fart?
Oh no, the Next Playground. Have you heard about this?
The console that sold better than the Xbox this holiday season?
Yeah, this Kinect thing.
That's all I know about it.
It's basically a Kinect. It's basically a Kinect you get for your kids.
Yeah,
in 2025.
The three best-selling consoles for this holiday season have been the PlayStation 5, the Nintendo Switch 2, and the Next Playground. No Xbox here. No Xbox. Yeah. Which is crazy. That's all I know about the Next Playground.
Yeah, it feels like something that's not long for this world, because you get occasionally these like,
but that's
these
even
holiday
sadder.
I know it is. It is sad. I mean, Xbox, we talk about how many times Xbox shoots itself in the foot every day of every second.
The Xbox Kinect knockoff sold better than the Xbox who killed their own Kinect.
But it is fascinating to see these little like, I don't know, like startup machines, like in a world where the Ouya failed miserably and blew up and died. I think there are these more, like, again, with indie gaming being higher than it ever has, there's a possibility for these smaller machines also to take up a niche that are affordable and add entertainment value that are being failed upon by like the other, like the big consoles and PC itself.
I'm not even sure Xbox cares about the next Playground appearing on the top 3 before the Xbox does, because Xbox just says, well, everything's an Xbox.
Yeah.
You can play Xbox games now on the PS5. You can play... can you play Xbox games on the Switch? I'm sure there's something on there.
Ori is.
Ori, yeah. And then, of course, like, you can play Xbox on PC. So, like, if we got Tara that laptop, the two of us can still play Xbox games together through our PCs. We can still both play Sea of Thieves together. We can both play Grounded 2. We could, like, there are Microsoft games that are available on this platform. And
I just want to highlight ZapChat said that like 100% sure that Xbox is BDS at the moment, which is like boycott, diversify, and sanction. There's a really good video that people should watch. Chris, I should send this to you too. Called From People Make Games. I don't know if you follow their channel, but they do like 30-ish minutes, sub-hour, like dives on like certain topics, and they came out with a recent one that's been blowing up about like why we're boycotting Xbox and why maybe you should too. Big argument whether boycotts actually work or not, how much you can actually affect a billion-jillion-dollar corporation. But regardless, it's still a very good thing to watch and to kind of learn about what's going on behind the scenes to make your own decisions. Can't tell you to do anything, but I can tell you that being informed and making your own decisions is better than not being informed and making your own decisions.
Yeah. I think this will probably end up being our last topic today. So next week we'll go into our look into 2026. But I think a big part of my look into 2026 is revolving around kind of what we're talking about now, like the state of these consoles and PC gaming, and moving and how Xbox's 2025 was miserable, and how that makes me feel and what I'm able to do with games without them.
Yeah. And that, like, I can feel similarly about, we could talk a lot about like all the corporations. You've heard me complain many times on the show about, the issues that Sony, Xbox, and Nintendo are all having on the top, and all the other AA and, big game developers looking at you, Take-Two. But we can talk about that next week. Let's talk about some more fun things.
Yeah, you want to highlight? You got some games in here you wanted to highlight that are on sale right now from 2025.
Yep. The 3 games that I chose are games that that came out before we started the show back in June. I've chosen the Steam page for Beyond Citadel. I've hinted at talking about Beyond Citadel a little bit. This is a game that I can only recommend for people who want a capital M for mature, capital E for edgy experience, but really just wants a gameplay. This is the most unique shooter I played in maybe my entire life. It has some Quake-isms to it, but every single gun has its own specific reload function. It has the way that it interacts with, like, you have to unload the clip, you have to put the next clip back in. These are all, like, you're doing a lot of keyboard gymnastics, and it feels really satisfying when you get it down. There are some really gory, there's no pure nudity, but it's definitely like there is some of that, like, adult imagery, I would say. But it is a fascinating, independently made, I think maybe one person dev shooter. Whoa. Look at you, you're in the future now.
Yep.
But it has some RPG mechanics, and the story is really like kind of esoteric. It's like very like like the humanism is dead, and angel, like the last remaining angels or something. I don't know. Doesn't fucking matter. It's a really neat, compelling shooter that plays like nothing I've ever played before.
Yeah. You right away you're catching me with the keyboard gymnastics, because that sounded just like that other game that I had told you about. I played a little bit of it. Can't tell you.
Yeah, the revolver one, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, can't remember the name of it right now because I got this VR headset on and I'm looking at Beyond Citadel. I'm gonna take this off before I get sick and puke. But yeah, just the idea of like having to go through different motions to reload different types of guns, it just seems fun and cool. And it's just gamifying a part of a game that has never really had anything going on for it. It's always just been like press X to reload.
Yeah. And so like for an example, like the revolvers, right? If you fully run out of a clip of a revolver, you can choose to reload a revolver at any time. You have to hit a button to unspool the revolver to turn it out. Then you have to hit another button to reload the bullets. You go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you have to hit the button again to put the spool back in, and then you can shoot it. So there's like, you're already doing a lot with that. Whereas like something like a shotgun, you might shoot, click a button to put another bullet in, load it, shoot, and you do that cycle, where it's just a good 3-button cycle. It takes a while to get used to, but once you do, you feel like you're way more involved in the shooting mechanics than I've ever been in any other game, period.
Yeah, and that was the game I was thinking of. I'll bring it over. I found it. Sunset Devils. This game, wow. Sorry. This game has that same like catch with me where it's like, depending on what gun you're using, you are like, you're like right click, scroll, left click, like on scroll again. Like, you know, there is like those gymnastics to different things where it's just like open it, pull the hammer, like unload this, reload this, like everything is its own action that you have to do. And you can see it on Sunset Devils. And I think, what is this? Citadel? What the name is
Beyond Citadel.
Beyond Citadel. I think they both do the same thing, which is smart for them, is they have the mechanic in the top right, where like you can see the controls for like aim / cock, remove mag, insert new mag, unjam, change fire mode. Like, yeah, I don't know. It's fun to do that. And I also just quickly want to comment on that. I'm just trying to con people into learning to play Dota 2. I would be conned into Dota 2 before I was ever conned into League of Legends. So I'm just going to throw that out there.
But again, I will con you into replaying Heroes of the Storm first, and then even before that silly Dragon Ball MOBA that I played earlier this year.
Yeah, I'd play the Dragon Ball MOBA and Heroes of the Storm before Dota, which is before League of Legends, which is also probably before the like relaunch of Heroes of Newerth that happened.
So yeah, the Beyond Citadel is the first game I want to talk about. The second one, Promise Mascot Agency.
What the heck am I looking at?
This is the second game ever that I've written a Steam review for.
Wow, that important to you?
Yeah. This is the developer of Paradise Killer. This is their follow-up. This is a truly unique game. That most of the mechanics are this driving mechanic, while you do little like kind of either driving mini games or you just drive here and there to do like to like advance like the visual novel stuff, or I don't know. There's a lot more to it than just driving. This is heavily inspired by things like Yakuza. It is heavily inspired by like internet culture in general and like this vaporwave aesthetic. Like, it's not as much in the aesthetic in the way that like Paradise Killer is 100% vaporwave, but there's a lot of like touches to be like, this doesn't belong in reality to a lot of the things that you're looking at. It's deeply funny. It is deeply odd. It is There's a card game kind of mechanic that plays in every once in a while. But it's basically the top level concept is you play a former Yakuza who has to go into hiding, and you have to you start a agency where you have to get all of these forgotten mascots that nobody cares about anymore, and you have to like return them all to like kind of greatness. You have to make.
Where's Domo?
Where is Domo? Yeah, Domo. Again, this is for him. But it's really fun. I adore it. There's a lot of moments where it's just like where this Mike guy who's like the MC of like a lot of these mascots, like he's like Rikishi. He's like, oh, how is a mascot supposed to fit through that? And it's just like the tofu guy crying. He's like, I'm not good enough. That really come together as you get towards like the ending and the emotional fulfillment there. But it's like a management game with zany Yakuza isms.
I've known a few people named Mike in my day.
Oh, you also like when you recruit a mascot, you have to like determine what their salary is and all that stuff too. So like it does go into the management system more than just like, oh, you now have this person to like send places and whatnot.
Wow. Very
weird, very fun, very adorable.
Also, yeah,
maybe crying.
Again, these are all on sale currently. Next up, 100 Line.
Yeah.
Last Defense Academy.
Yeah, 100 Line, Last Defense Academy. I mainly want to talk about it for its sheer width of its scope. Like just like it more than any game I've ever played. This just has more to it than I think a game should. Probably to its detriment. I do think at the end of the day. This is by the original creator of Danganronpa, who spun off and made his own company. You can tell that in all the designs, they look like Danganronpa characters. It is half visual novel, half tactics game. The tactics part of this game isn't the most like hooked up thing. Like it's not the best at it, like tactics game I've ever played, but it's serviceable.
Little half-baked tactics.
Half-baked tactics. But the true chaos and true unwieldiness of this game is you beat the game after like 50 hours maybe, and now the game actually starts. Every run past your first game unlocks pathways to, as the game says, 100 different endings. So you beat the game, you've dealt with the mechanics, and now when you go through the loop or whatever it is, a second or third time, you can start getting like the divergent paths start opening up like crazy. And there's like some mechanics to help smooth this out. Like you can skip through a tactics battle you've already played, you can skip through it. You don't need to rebeat it again on like playthrough 2. Certain events that have already happened, you can choose to skip through that too, if they don't have like narrative choices. So it does help streamline it. But just the fact that they're like, all right, here's 100 endings to the game, you can't access those until you beat the game once.
And then twice, and then 3 times, and then 4 times.
Fucking ridiculous. The amount of content this game has. If you're a story sicko. But the characters are really fun. They're really, you get if you've played a Danganronpa, you know what to expect from like these like really interesting characters that have like really deep characterizations. It's neat.
Yeah. And now that was it, right? That was the 3. No.
Yeah.
And then you've got your 2025 list of games.
Yeah, I just put this up here just because, like, I don't know. This is what I played. This is everything I played to a significant portion. I would say, like, I played over half the game to beat it. I just thought it would be interesting to scroll through. Like, I kind of was shocked that I played through like 68 games this year, which felt like too many.
It's a lot of games.
But when I was going through this, a lot of these games weren't that long. Both like milk inside of a bag, inside of a bag, inside of a bag, and the milk outside of a bag of milk, outside of a bag of milk are like pretty short, but very powerful. I guess like the things
I just want to be single.
This is really funny. It's only in early access, only the first chapter out, but it's an anti-dating sim. Everyone wants to date you, and you're like, no, I just want to be friends with you.
I see. You the friend you're doing the friend zoning.
Yeah.
It's a lot of games.
Yeah. I think that Sorry We're Closed is a highlight of the year for games that didn't come out this year that I played. Mostly everything else are stuff that I chased, like what was coming out, as you can see, and I've talked about a lot of it on the show.
Lastly, we showed, you highlighted those games that were on sale. I just want to highlight this website, GG.deals, which you can see all kinds of sales.
I fucking love this website.
Yeah, you can see Paradise Killer.
Go.
It's currently $1.49.
You should play this visual novel. That's maybe the best ever.
Yeah, I think it was free on Epic. I don't know if it is anymore.
We're doing the every day is a new free game, so today is not that.
I think today is now Bloodstained: Ritual of the Night.
You got it. It is.
We also got your game on here. I liked it too. I liked the demo. The King is Watching. You can find for over 50% off. For that for $7.70.
Damn good game.
Yeah. So yeah, you can use this site if you have PlayStation 5. Sea of Thieves is only $14 on the PS5 right now. It's not a 2025 game, but yeah, but this site is it's real good for getting together some deals.
I use this site anytime I need to convince a friend to play a multiplayer game with us. And that doesn't happen very often, but it happened specifically with Divinity Original Sin 2 and
$10
and Vermintide. I was like, hey, go to this website. You can buy it for like $1. Like, please, just go. Just do it. We can play this game together.
Yeah. Loot River being number 9 on their list of most popular right now is kind of crazy.
That is cool. It's cool. Not the Loot River.
Yeah.
Tetris roguelike, right? Or Tetris puzzle action game, something like that.
Yeah, it's okay. I played a little bit of it. It's like an action roguelike, and then there are like pieces of the ground that you move around like Tetris pieces to connect to different places to fight different guys and take different paths and whatnot. But yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And that's 2025.
2025.
We have one more show in 2025, but we're going to talk about 2026.
Yeah.
In that show, we'll talk about our what's happening in 2026, what we're looking forward to in the year that we know is coming out. Maybe talk about some predictions that we might have for the year.
Do I think that Tides of Annihilation will be a 99 on Metacritic, or will it be a 100?
83.
That sounds way more possible.
Wow. Crazy. Yeah, and then just like our gaming resolutions of the year, I guess, things that we want to do in 2026. And then
what series will I try to play the entirety of in 2026?
Yeah, and then what whatever else pops up from now until then might talk about. Yeah. But for now, we're gonna end the recording and then do the game duel.
Yeah.
And then end the stream.
I hope that everyone has a happy holiday.
Yeah. So I think
2 days from now will be the Christmas. I hope you get your gaming needs met.
If you get some extra cash, here we showed you the deals to go, to go look into. Yeah, let's end this. We'll see you next week.
I yield my time.
Goodbye. I hope I hit the right hotkey. It's always a trick to see if our stuff slides away. Hit that one. And yeah, there it goes.